Hi, I'm Debbie and welcome to my channel, Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're doing our longer reading from June 16th through the 30th for my Aries. Hello my fiery Aries, how are you? So this is the longer reading. I use 3 decks of cards. I use my Radley Valentine Angel Tarot cards, gives me that main message. Then I go to my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards, kind of fills in the gaps. And then I go to my Osha Zen Tarot cards, and it kind of gives us last words of advice. Now, 3 cards. I have prayed, meditated, 3 decks I should say. I have prayed, meditated, and infused each deck with Reiki energy. But this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. Okay? Okay. Couple of things going on for June. Now, the end of June. I talked about June 17th being this full moon. And it is in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, and it's all about optimism and hope. So, really take that into consideration. I feel that, being a fire sign, that's going to be very fulfilling for you also. There are some other planetary alignments going on, which for some other signs, it could happen for you too, can make things a little bit more forceful. So it's almost like, pushing goodwill onto somebody that's not necessarily wanting to have that goodwill, but it's like, you have to have this, you will like this. So just be aware of that. Now, with, moon energy at all different times. Okay, 1, 2. Sorry, cards fell. Moon energy does affect the earth, and it does affect people because of just the water content in the earth and, people. Earth is what, 70-80%, and people 80 to 90%. So that's the full moon. Now that's also a time when I tell you to, get out there and release what doesn't serve you, relinquish what's holding you back, or vice versa, and request. Request, because it's all good. It's always good to ask, okay? Not asking you to worship the moon at all. It's a divine creation, and it's just kind of one of these things that I just go out and I love the wonder of it all. Okay. So, and then also June 21st, we go into Cancer season, which is a water sign. And, remember, water and fire, kind of keeps, kind of dampens you a little bit, but it also can contain you a little bit. So it's not always negative for you. Now, the other thing is on the 21st, besides going from Gemini to to water, to Cancer, is for the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice, and for the southern, the winter solstice. So there's a whole bunch of different types of energy going on. One other thing before we move on is in July, even though we're not there, you need to prepare for it, okay? Because it's, the 7th through the 31st, Mercury goes retrograde again, okay? And it's mostly, there's a lot of this in Cancer. The last Mercury retrograde, a lot of it was in Pisces, and the next one, a lot of it will be in Scorpio, water signs again. So this is, just be aware. This is when I say don't start jobs, because you start a job, usually it reverses itself, okay? So don't start things, and maybe plan vacations around it. First, right before it starts, so almost like the 3rd, things are just going to get a little bit weird on for everybody. Okay, so first card is reversed. It means that it has a powerful message. The Knight of Water. I told you already that water is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. This is falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. I do feel that this is you being, okay, the word gregarious comes out. This is you, showing that better side of you. This is you showing the side that people are like, wow, Aries, I love it. I love who you are. So this is a good time that if you need to impress somebody, do that. Be careful about this full moon though, because like I was just saying that, you might take it a little bit overboard, and that full moon energy is like 3 days before, 3 days after. So you might take it a little bit overboard, and while you're having a great time and you want to show everybody how, what a party animal you are, people might say, oh, you took it a little bit too far. So just be careful about that time, okay? Because, what you're doing is actually very, you're just really enjoying life, and you're just enjoying having the people around you, but that planetary kind of gives you a little bit too much of a push. Okay, next card is the Two of Air. Air, of course, is our Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy, and this is being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. So it's kind of, it's I'm being pulled back to this card again about you having, enjoying life. So I'm feeling kind of like there are some things that you may not be wanting to address, okay? In order for you, you might be deliberately just I'm not going to focus on you. You're over here. You can't see me. I can't see you. I want to enjoy my life. So, but if there is something that you're avoiding, it's really, and this might be what pushes you kind of into that more gregarious thing. Like, hey, everybody, everything's fine. Aren't I the life of the party? But there's this thing that you're avoiding, and and it's really not, it's not that it's not fine, but it pushes you in, like I said, the energies with this full moon, it pushes you and kind of, it could push you into being a little obnoxious, okay? Deal with it. My best advice is whatever it is you're avoiding, deal with it. Now, if it's business, I keep going business for you more than anything else. If it's relationship, which could be work, personal, family, then deal with it. And if it means that you're breaking up, firing, quitting, just maybe disciplining children or something, or maybe disciplining yourself, deal with it, because it actually will make you, it will put you into a better frame of mind, because you will find that it's not as rough as you avoiding it. Okay? Okay, let's see what this last card says. The Queen of Earth. Now, Earth, of course, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy, money energy, family energy. So this could be, again, that work, that relationship energy, some things that you can touch, solid energy. And, the Queen of Earth, though, I'm really feeling that when you deal with this, it's like it's like a weight off your shoulders. It's a total weight off your shoulders, and you can actually, this like I said, gregarious. This was almost borderlining, almost on, it was borderlining over. It was going over the top. So once you deal with whatever this is, you actually become more centered. You become more grounded. You come back into kind of like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I faced it. I faced my enemy. Okay, so Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So I think that these, this last 2 weeks, this last part of June, is you having opportunities to clean clutter, okay? Clean emotional baggage, clean financial baggage, clean clutter. Clean clutter is coming to me very, very strongly. Cleaning out the clutter, dealing with it, okay? Dealing with the junk. And once you do, it's like, whew, I can breathe better. Okay, let's go on. What additional piece of advice, or can you fill this in? Can you fill this in? Because this is part of the message. It doesn't mean that this is the whole message. I've seen it where it was all, this first row has been all doom and gloom, and it's like once you deal with it, and then the second row is like, wow, I love this. But it all predicates on you dealing with it. So let's go ahead, see what this is. We're going to cut. And 1, 2, and 3. Now, first card. Okay, reversed cards to me are very strong. They, they're not the opposite. They're like, yes, this is very stronger than if they were even, that they were just the right side, right way. Okay, so light. Once you deal with it, there is so much wonderful things that are about to start happening for you. Besides you coming down and feeling more centered, more grounded, it's it's like this whole, it's like the darkness, the darkness disappears, and all you have now is light. But again, it means you have to deal with it. Now this can also mean that connecting with that higher power, spirit guide, guardian angels, divine voice of the universe too. And once you do that, and it's also about submitting. Instead of fighting it, instead of going to war with whatever this was, whatever personal, and I don't, what, for some of you, I think that it was even bigger than just a personal problem, but whatever that was. Okay. Next, destiny. Destiny. So many times over, when there is a roadblock that's there, okay, and you run away from it, okay, and say that it does disappear, and you're like, oh, phew. Many times over, you go down your path again, and another roadblock, maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar, and it keeps coming back until you actually deal with it. This is like a karmic circle type of thing. So this could be, with this time for you, this could be a time for you to be cleaning up karmic circles, okay? Karmic. And what it is like, have you ever, you've dated somebody and it didn't work out, and then you date somebody else, it doesn't work out, and you're like, why do I keep picking the same person over and over again? It's because you don't deal with it the first time around, okay? And you didn't deal with it the second time around. And what does it mean to deal with it? I don't really even know about that. Sometimes it's like I was put in a situation that, it took me off guard and I didn't deal with it, okay? And it wasn't a big situation. And I know that when, but each time I get closer, I deal with it a little bit better, okay? And then the next time I'm hoping that whatever that is, I deal with it even better. And then when it comes about again, because it will, I will go ahead and deal with it better and better each time. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you, because this is about, I really feel that this is going to be, you're entering into a time of cleaning up karmic energy. Okay, now what does that mean? There's a lot of things on YouTube where you can kind of take a look at that too, but the best answer is deal with it. Okay, now with Mercury retrograde coming in July, a lot of things from the past come back into our lives. So this could be getting you prepared so when they do, that you deal with it. Now, last card. Movement, choices, and decisions. Okay, so this is all, do you see how this is all fitting together? Now, does this mean that, that you're not going to get a job, you're not going to get money, you're not going to get a new life, all this stuff? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. But it does mean that situations keep coming to you that you have to deal with it. However, once you do, remember, the light comes out. The light comes out. You start following your chosen destiny. Not well, chosen, is it your chosen? But you follow the destiny. You follow your path, okay? And with that, things open up for you. Things open up where it's like all of a sudden you're like, wow, I do have choices. I do have places to go. I can be moving forward. But again, it's working. It's dealing with it. It's dealing with it. Okay? So let's see now. You've got kind of a very, there are times that I get very clear, okay, go for that job, start that relationship, all that. But this is very much cleaning up stuff, cleaning up your karma. And it's not, is that because you have, no, I don't know all the answers. Okay, we have a bunch of cards that fell out. Let's go ahead and do our speed reading, okay? I look at this as speed dating. Okay, first card, integration, pulling all the pieces together. So this is your advice cards. This is pulling it all together in order for you, once you start dealing with things, I know you Aries, you do deal with things. You do, and maybe, I don't know if there's reincarnation. I do not know that. There's a lot of things out there that support it. I don't know. In order for me to find that, I have to die. I'm not going to do that, okay? But I know that this is the only Debbie that I have. But the more I deal with my junk, the more that it pops up and I look at it and I go, okay, I can't run from it. The more I deal with it, the more all my pieces are pulled together. Okay? Okay. Now, part of this too is by when you avoid things, many times over, this is when you give pieces of yourself away. Okay? So this is when, this is where you say, oh, I gave them a piece of my mind. I gave them a piece of my heart. I gave. So the more, when you start actually recognizing and dealing, it's like things start to come back for you, okay? And you become, when you pull all those pieces and you integrate them back into who you are, into your soul, you become healed and you become whole. Consciousness, okay? This is always, there we have the third eye, that connection, that intuition, that connection with that divine, greater power, spirit guide, guardian angels, voice of the universe, whoever it is, that greater supernatural. So, again, part of this is also telling me that not only do you need to connect, you also need, not just you doing the connection, you have to realize that that what happens is for our good, this greater, whatever you want to call it, puts these situations so that we can deal with it. Okay. Next card. Reversed. Control. So who's in control? Are you the one in control? We do have control over our choices. We can make choices. We can say yes, no, we can. But in many times over, and we like to think that we're in control, but in many ways, we're not in control. If we have to go to work, we can't just do whatever we want. Our work's in control. If we want to keep that personal relationship going, there are things that there's some give and take with that. Our family, they don't let us just do whatever we want type of thing. So there is, there is some control. We need to really, though, think, are we in control? That's your decision to make. Okay. Okay, a few more cards, 4 more cards. Let's see what do we have here. Okay, reversed again. Suppression. Okay. Be aware. Be aware of what you're not facing. Whatever that is, be aware of it. Okay. Ordinariness. Okay. I think really what this is about is just, it's coming to terms. Sharing. What do we want to say about this? This is basically, again, this is a give and take type of world. But it's also, not just with the world, but it's also with that higher power too. And our last one, transformation. And this was reversed. I flipped it as I was talking about it. And this is, again, the phoenix is rising from the ashes. This is, this has all of the energies, the water, the fire, all of the energies that, are around us. And this is, again, I really feel this is going to be the beginning of the time where you start cleaning up some karmic junk. And the best advice I can just tell you is you just have to deal with it. Okay? Okay. A little bit different of a reading for you, but that's okay too. Sometimes we need to do that. Now, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay? But as always, my Aries, know that you are loved and be blessed. Bye-bye.